everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to do a comparison video of versus, like Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat, Capcom versus SNK, the classics, on these two, the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G and the iPhone SE 2022. And a lot of you might be thinking that this is really kind of a bully fight. Like, you're looking at the A53 here, you can clearly see that there's a quad camera set up on the back and it's much larger, and of course it looks more new, it looks more sophisticated. And then you've got this guy here, which is basically parading around in the same design that we've seen since the iPhone 6. So yeah, there's a lot that goes on here that maybe is more than meets the eye, kind of like Transformers, except less violent and not so much cartoony, I guess. But the phones themselves, they both offer really, really important features and a really completely different experience that it's really kind of hard to equate, because a lot of people who are searching for an iPhone SE 2022 probably aren't considering a Samsung Galaxy A53. And a lot of people searching for a Samsung Galaxy A53 probably aren't considering an iPhone SE 2022. If they are considering an iPhone, it's probably an iPhone 11, iPhone 12, something like that, more comparable to this. But the reason it's important is because these two are about the $400 price point offerings that they both offer, and they're the two biggest in North America. Of course, Xiaomi has replaced Samsung in the #1 Android phone manufacturer in the world, but Samsung's still #1 in the United States, which is where primarily my audience is. I know a lot of you guys are watching overseas as well, so I'll try and be cognizant of that while I talk about this. So, at first glance, you can see there's a big difference here. This phone, the A53, is a lot larger than the iPhone SE 2022, ringing in with a 6.5-inch screen versus a 4.7-inch screen. 750p resolution, full 1080p plus. Also, the important designation that you need to know about is that the A53 has a beautiful 120 Hz refresh rate with up to 800 nits brightness, which is pretty bright for a $400 phone. And then enter stage left, we have the iPhone SE 2022 with a 4.7-inch screen, regular HD plus, not even 1080p, much less on the PPI, which is the pixels per inch, and it's not nearly as bright. So when you look at it from that perspective, and then also a lot of things people like to do nowadays, play video games, watch social media, all that cool stuff, absorb YouTube videos like you're doing right now, the iPhone, for me, is actually a better phone for gaming. And that might sound really crazy to you, but it's not, because this one right here is rocking the A15 Bionic processor under the hood, which is the most powerful smartphone chip in the world, which is also in the iPhone 13, 13 Pro, 13 Pro Max. You can play any single video game out there available in the Apple Play Store, and it is going to run it fully maxed out and not even skip a beat. So that's what you get here. You get power, you get sophistication, you get all that great stuff. You even get the Deep Fusion, which is the computational photography thing that Apple does with their pictures. It does take better pictures than the iPhone SE 2020, even though I do believe it's the same camera. It's only a 12 megapixel solo camera on the back. Powering the A53 under the hood is the Exynos 1280. Exynos, right? Well, it's very capable. And the thing is they went with this kind of mid-tier, lower powered processor with the A53 because it gives you a decent balance on performance, but also battery life, which is very important. And this has a 5,000 milliamp battery, and Samsung says it's supposed to get you 2 days of battery life. It really will. I used it for up to almost 3 days, mixed usage, and I had over 4 hours of screen on time. Of course, that's not a lot over the course of 2.5 days, but I still had over 35% battery left on day 3. So you could very easily probably get 3 or 4 hours of screen on time a day out of this. Definitely will last you 2 days. That's impressive. Standby time is also very good, and it comes with the latest version of Android, which is a big surprise. Now, it doesn't have the latest software security patch update for it. I think mine's still running in January, but it could be because it's the international version. Android 12, One UI 4.1, and you're going to get 4 years of software updates. So you're going to get 4 different generations of Android. So we're on Android 12 to start. This is going to go all the way to Android 16. And then also you're going to get a 5th year of security patch updates. So that's very, very good. That's what they offer for their flagships. Also seemingly some of their mid-tiers. So that's the best software guarantee you're going to get in the Android world. That's a very good win here. The thing is when you look at the iPhone though, the iPhone 6S is still supported, and it's, 7, 8 years old now? It's really uncanny. So what you're going to get here is this best in class, way better processor, way better performance. It's so zippy, so snappy. When you touch things on the screen, when you do stuff, it works like a dream. Just like the iPhone 13, 13 Pro. Also, you've got Touch ID, which is really nice. There's no facial recognition on here. It has a 7 megapixel camera, the same as the iPhone SE 2020, buried in this bezel up here, which it does have some bezels. And you've got the bezels up here, and you got the bezels down here, and the fingerprint sensor with Touch ID works like a dream. I absolutely love it. One of the big attractive features for me on this phone, I don't like Face ID. Face ID alone has been very annoying the last 2 years using an iPhone. I'm much happier having this. And I actually really enjoyed using this phone. It has a 2000 milliamp battery. I've made several videos talking about the battery life, and it will get you up to 6 hours of screen on time, and actually beyond that, depending on what you're using the phone for. This one has 5G as well. So both of these phones have 5G. Neither one of them have millimeter wave unless you get the Verizon version with the A53, and it costs you $50 extra. And the thing is, with millimeter wave, it's very, very sparse. It's only in some built up major city areas. Largely, you're not ever going to experience it, and it uses more battery. So I don't really think that it's all that appealing just yet. And I don't think either one are going to get C-band, but they do have the sub-6 5G, which is like the extended 5G network. It's kind of like enhanced 4G LTE, but the newer towers. Works perfectly fine. So in the camera department, which is a big thing people want to know about, which one is better? Well, I actually think that the iPhone does handle some of the colors and the light better, but overall you do get a much bigger sensor on the A53 with 64 megapixels versus 12, but megapixels aren't everything. So when you kind of balance it out and you get the resolution, the extra pixels, you get some of the different things that Samsung does. You also get nighttime photography mode on here. There is no night mode on the iPhone. So if you like to take low light photos, this phone is terrible. There's no night mode in here, no low light photography capabilities. And I think iPhone did that, of course, because you know how Apple is. They don't want to give you all the features, because if they did, then you wouldn't want to buy the more expensive phone. So they have to find some ways to arbitrarily dumb them down. You would think that because it does support it, and also it's got the A15 Bionic in it, it should be able to take good nighttime photos. It does not. And also the single camera limits it too, because it's a single point of data. So when it's consuming and absorbing the light, absorbing the image, all that good stuff, it only has the one lens. Whereas you get over here, all these lenses, 64 megapixel primary, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel macro, so you can do up close and personal National Geographic shots. 5 megapixels is pretty good for that. It's a nice feature. And then the depth sensor on here as well. So you're going to get some pretty good portrait shots on the Samsung phone, but you also get pretty decent portrait shots on the iPhone as well. But I think you get a little bit better depth, a little bit better edge detection. I do think that the Samsung edges it out there. Overall capabilities, the Samsung definitely wins, because when you look at the iPhone, you get the 112 megapixel camera and then you get the 7 on the front. Well, on the Samsung Galaxy A53, you get the 3 cameras on the back, and then you get the 32 megapixel camera on the front. And then you also get to really enjoy being able to do more with your phone, because you get a 6.5-inch beautiful display here. And that's one of the things that's really appealing to this phone. This phone was built from the ground up around this beautiful screen. 800 nits brightness, AMOLED panel. It's an OLED, not like the little old, like 7-year-old LCD screen that's on here that's not very bright. 120 hertz refresh rate really makes for an enjoyable experience. It's better for scrolling through your Instagram, your Twitter feeds, playing games, watching movies. If you like to consume content and you like to be able to do things like make TikTok videos and do your Instagram reels and all that stuff, you're probably going to want this. Although the iPhone is kind of better in a lot of different ways when it comes to social media, the apps just seem to work better. I don't know what it is. I think they're just more optimized for them. It's a good experience on here. The Samsung experience is perfectly good. You're not going to miss out on anything. But with the processing power that you get on the iPhone, this iPhone SE 2022, the A15 really takes the cake in day-to-day performance. This thing will never lag. It will not slow down. It will not feel choppy. It will not run slow. It will not stutter when you do things. Never skips a beat. This is like Usain Bolt, and this is like me trying to run on a 100-meter dash. I mean, I might look better. I've got more hair than he does, slightly, and I've got this really good-looking beard, but I am not built to run. So this phone is built to run and to last like 10 years. This one is built to look pretty and to allow you to absorb content and also create some content, and just to be a really enjoyable day-to-day experience phone. There's not a lot of people who are going to go there and look and go, okay, I like this one, but I also like the way this one looks. This right here, the big selling point is to migrate people over. If you had an older iPhone, like an iPhone 6, 7, and 8, this is the one you probably want because you might not want a bigger phone. You might not want the big, heavy iPhone 13 Pro or 13 Pro Max. You might not want the iPhone 13 mini because it starts at $699 and $429 is appealing for 5G and A15, 4 gigs of RAM, and also it's going to work for forever and ever. And also has Touch ID. A lot of people really don't like Face ID and they don't like giving up their home button. So if that sounds like you, this is the phone for you. Whereas a lot of people that are looking to get this one, they want to get the cooler colors, they want to have the more camera capabilities, they want to have this big, beautiful screen, play games, watch movies, watch your Netflix, enjoy all of your content consumption. I'm perfectly happy using the iPhone SE 2022, and a lot of people will, but this is not a big screen. Like 4.7 inches versus 6.5. Like, it's really hard to go, you know, I'd really love to watch the new Batman movie on this when it comes out, especially considering how dark it is. This is going to be your winner right here in so many different categories. But that's not saying the iPhone SE 2022 is bad. And that's what I said. This is not really a fair stack up when you look at it and go, this one versus this one. This gives you, the iPhone, all the introductory features. You get the Apple Car, the Apple Pay, the Apple TV, Apple Music, Apple everything, iMessage. And iMessage is really alluring. And I know a lot of people that actually use this to type on and communicate with. And then they carry something like this or a better, larger Android phone for content consumption, playing games, social media, all that cool stuff. A lot of people really do like iMessage, like me. I've made this comment in several other videos. I've got a million different family members, and they all use iMessage and iPhones. And then you have me, the Lone Ranger, out here using an Android phone. So it just makes it easier to communicate with my kids. We play little iMessage games and all sorts of stuff. I got 6 kids and they all use an iPhone. So it just makes life so much easier, sending stuff back and forth, Apple Pay, yes, I know you can use third-party apps to simulate a lot of those experiences, but it's just so much easier, especially for like my mom, my aunts, my grandma, all of those family members, they're rocking an iPhone. So there is an argument to be made there. Of course, yes, you can go, oh, well, you can get WhatsApp. I get that, but my 81-year-old grandmother's not going to get WhatsApp. She just uses iMessage on her iPhone 8 Plus that she's still using. So I don't really get into that too much. It's not really this versus them argument. I just talking reality and facts here. And this just what it is. Yes, Samsung and Android does get a lot of cool new features. And this one, the A53 not only has facial recognition, which the iPhone does not, but it also does have a fingerprint sensor underneath the screen, which works pretty well. So you're fully stacked up with biometrics here. Neither one have a headphone jack. Both have IP67 dust and water resistance. You can drop it and it can stay submerged up to 1 meter of water, which is 3 feet, for up to half an hour, which is cool. They both have stereo speakers on it. The speakers are very good. Both have ample volume. It's very complementary to the experience. Again, no headphone jack. That is frustrating. Now, the A53 also does not have wireless charging. It does have faster charging at 25 watts, but the iPhone SE 2022 has wireless charging, which is nice. You can go ahead and use that if you want to. Neither of them have reverse wireless charging, so you can't power share stuff. And they actually bumped it up to 20-watt charging with this one. So you can charge it pretty quick that way. Both of them recharge quick. Both of them have all-day battery. The A53 definitely has 2-day battery, depending on how you use it. I'm surprised, even being a power user, 6 hours of screen on time a day. The iPhone SE 2022, I've been rocking with it. I still haven't switched back to my iPhone 13 Pro. I actually like this better. As crazy as that sounds, I actually made a video about it. So here's the thing. These phones are both out there. They're both available. They both are very good at what they do. And it just depends on which one you want. If you want an iPhone, if you want to live in that Apple world and have all the Apple services, the iMessage, you don't want to spend a bunch of money, it's for your kid, a teenager. If you just like smaller phones, being able to use this one one-handed is so nice. And of course, you can get cheap accessories for it all over the place because an iPhone 8 screen protector or case will work on it, iPhone SE 2020 case or screen protector. There's so many you can get out there all over the place that'll work with this phone, and you can get them cheap. There's plenty of accessories, especially out on Amazon for the A53 as well. So it's really a toss-up. Do you want an Android phone that with a big, gigantic screen, or do you want a cheap iPhone that's going to be supported for forever and is super powerful? And you can even play games on here too. You can even play Genshin Impact. You can't play it maxed out or anything, very bare bones experience. But hey, if you like it, you can play it. You can play PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile. Pretty much anything is going to work on there. Fortnite, not really the greatest in the world either. But, I mean, you get what you pay for. It's about a $400. MSRP is $449. Also, just to talk about colors briefly, in the US at the carriers, you can only get the black version, but there is a blue, a peach, and a white, which you can get if you buy it unlocked, the international version, which is what I did. And you can find them cheaper. You can find incentives, trade-in deals, all sorts of stuff through your carrier if you want to get the regular US model. Also, if you want to talk about it real quick, the SE 2022 starts off with 64 gigs of storage, goes up to 256 max, and then you can get up to 256 max as well on the A53, and also the RAM goes up with that as well. Starting with 4 gigs over here on the A53, goes up to 8. I think 6 is kind of the sweet spot. Also, it has expandable SD card slot, which is nice. You can put an SD card in there to top up and give you more storage. The iPhone, you cannot. You're stuck with what you get. So I think I've covered just about everything. I know that's a lot. I know there's not really any fancy B-roll. This is a lot of really practical discussion, trying to steer people in the right direction for which one is right for you. It's not like, oh, does this one beat this one? It's a tool. It's a tool that allows you to do everything you want to do in your day-to-day life. It's just a matter of priorities, what you want to spend your money on, and what kind of experience you want. Because it's kind of hard to say, do you want a 4.7-inch screen? Or do you want a 6.5-inch beautiful screen with 120 hertz, right? So a lot of people know already if they want an Android or an iPhone. But I wanted to put this together, match them up, and tell you exactly what the differences are and all that other stuff so you can make a decision on what the right phone might be for you or a loved one or somebody else you're talking to, recommending it for, maybe even buying it as a gift. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. There are links for these down in the description, so if you choose you want to click on the link and buy one, it's an affiliate link. It helps support the channel. Totally do that. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can go search it up somewhere else. Totally fine too. And if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more stuff like this, because I'm making videos every single day, please hit the like and the subscribe button to show support for the video. And then also the notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out, because you'll get a notification once I release the video, if YouTube wants to be nice. So that's all I got. That's it. After all, 17 minutes of talking already. That's it. So thanks a lot. Thanks for sitting here and watching. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. And I'll see you guys next time.